Hi, lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stranad. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. All right, lovelies, let's dive into this. So, lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where a lot of people are really reacting to the fact that TP actually lied about the project 2025. And I was able to put up some of those stitches because he is actually appointing people involved with the project 2025 to run his office. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe, like, and let's dive into it.
I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it.
Project 2025 is not affiliated with the Trump campaign. Kevin Roberts is a friend of mine, but I wouldn't say that he speaks for the president.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. I don't know anything about it.
But behind closed doors, Vote tells us not to take Trump's disavowal seriously.
I expected to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman of Project 2025.
He was one of the authors of 2025.
Tom Homan is also a visiting fellow at Heritage. He's a good friend. I was texting him earlier.
So how significant is it that his pick for FCC chair and Russ Vought both wrote parts of Project 2025?
Shows that the Trump team isn't distancing from Project 2025. In fact, they're embracing it. They've put multiple people with ties to this group in the administration, including Tom Homan, for example, Stephen Miller, yes, the chair of the FCC, Brendan Carr. We know that vote is obviously on the table for a high-level position, and I think this is something that you'll see clearly continue. And, of course, it's significant because he really is one of those top architects of Project 2025, has been around the president often, and we're told by sources that he is a frequent presence over at Mar-a-Lago.
We have some breaking news according to NBC News. Donald Trump's team is actively looking at Project 2025's database for potential political appointees. After months of telling the American public that he didn't know what Project 2025 was and that his campaign disavowed Project 2025, according to NBC News, the Trump team is actually now looking into a database founded by Project 2025 to pull potential political appointees. And we see the influence of Project 2025 on the picks already. For example, Tom Homan is the border czar. He helped with the immigration section for Project 2025. In addition, Trump appointed the author of the FCC chapter on Project 2025 to lead the FCC. But now we have as much confirmation as could be, really, that Trump's team is actively looking at this database and pulling potential people to nominate for key governmental positions. So for everyone who has been commenting that Donald Trump doesn't know what Project 2025 was, he's literally using people from Project 2025 and putting them in government positions. Everyone needs to see this. Comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
So Project 2025 is a governing document, and this is how it would impact you. But let's start with reproductive freedom. It calls for a nationwide surveillance system to monitor all pregnancies. It requires reports on any woman traveling out of state to seek abortion care, and takes federal legal action against local officials who refuse to bring cases against women and doctors who violate a state abortion ban. And because the prohibitions on emergency contraception, 1.6 million women in Ohio, hundreds of thousands here in Southwest Ohio, would lose guaranteed access to free emergency contraception. So Project 2025 abolishes the Department of Education. It would end Title I education funding, which 25 million students rely on for their education. Here's what it means for us. Ending Title I would take critical resources away from over 110,000 children in Ohio and nearly 7,000 teaching jobs. Number 3, childcare. Project 2025 would eliminate Head Start. Head Start is quality preschool for low-income children. In Southwest Ohio, over 2,000 families rely on Head Start for childcare. So the attack on Social Security is a big one. It would raise the retirement age. It cuts benefits. It privatizes the program. It would cut Social Security benefits for 8.5 million Ohioans. All right, Medicaid. Medicaid is healthcare for lower income families. It would strip away Medicaid coverage from 90 million people. This is nationally. 38,000 people here in Southwest Ohio would lose health insurance. So you're talking about millions in Ohio. All right, number 6, the SNAP is obviously the federal program that provides healthy food for millions and millions of Americans. It would cut those benefits in Ohio alone, we're talking about 116,000 people who would lose food assistance because of Project 2025. Number 7, prescription drugs. We're now negotiating lower prescription drug prices. Project 2025 would get rid of that. It would impact over 120,000 people here in Southwest Ohio. So don't take my word for it. You can go online, read the whole plan. It will affect you. It's really important that everyone knows what's coming if Project 2025 is pursued.
No-fault divorce is on the chopping block now that we know that Project 2025 will be implemented, and especially since J.D. Vance is in office, if you are considering a divorce because your husband voted for Trump and against your rights as a human being, you should contact a lawyer now. Before no-fault divorce, you couldn't just leave your husband because you didn't like him. You had to provide proof that there was physical abuse, mental abuse, that there was some sort of infidelity, and you had to be able to prove it in court. In the past, judges would not grant a divorce unless women could demonstrate that they were financially independent. So if you gave up your career or your job to stay home with your small children, you could be out of luck. Judges also denied women custody of their own children if they didn't have the means to take care of themselves and their children independently of husband support. And I know this because it happened to my mother. The judge told her that he would not grant her a divorce unless she made a certain amount of money every week to take care of herself and her children. Otherwise, he wanted her to stay in a violent, abusive marriage. And that is what's coming down the line. So my advice, call a lawyer, see what your options are before it gets too late. Good luck with that.
The Project 2025 manifesto suggests that a conservative president should dismantle the Department of Education, an idea that Trump has also supported. At most, it says that the department should be a statistics gathering agency that disseminates information to the states. It wants to phase out Title I funding that goes to low-income schools. Title I funding is a federal program in the United States designed to provide financial assistance to schools with high percentages of children from low-income families. The goal of Title I is to help ensure that all children meet challenging state academic standards. The proposed phasing out of Title I funding would significantly impact these schools and potentially widen the educational gap between low-income and more affluent areas. The project says a conservative president should push policies to support universal voucher programs in which money meant for public schools funds private school tuitions. The Heritage Foundation also wants to eliminate Head Start, a program that funds early childhood education for low-income families. Thanks to Head Start, millions of children have access to preschool education. So this is one of those things where although white people will get hurt too, non-white people get...
Chapter 20, Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm Nikki Porcher, founder of Buy From a Black Woman, and I am going through all of Project 2025. All of Project 2025. Today we are talking Chapter 20, Departments of Veterans Affairs. Now, Brooks D. Tucker is the author of this chapter, and this is one of the shorter chapters in this project. And one thing that I do like is that they provide short bios of every author in true narcissistic, egotistical. He's Marine. He used to be a lieutenant colonel. He was a chief of staff. Acting chief of staff. He of Trump's transitional team, and he served as a senior policy advisor for national security and veterans affairs to Senator Richard Burr. He also been in war and At the end of the day, he's still a white man. Now, this was one of the shorter chapters, as I mentioned, in the Project 2025. And a lot of it was just really talking about what was wrong with the VA. Like, what's wrong with the VA? Now, if you follow me on Twitter, every time I go to the VA, I tweet about it. I tag them because it is a terrible, horrible process as a veteran. I fought for this country. I went to war, and I have to fight for basic health care, which just makes no sense. And I will give these Project 2025 people credit because they understand that it can't fool me. They want to make this look so appealing because they want people to join the armed forces. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Nikki, you got an Air Force shirt on, but we chose to be in the military. It's one thing when you make the choice to do something versus somebody forcing you to do something. So into their introduction, before they talk about what they're going to reform, they discuss how VA disability, the GI Bill, and the VA loan are the three biggest parts of Department of Veterans and the benefits. And for those of you who know history, when Black people came back from World War II, they were promised a GI Bill and also VA loan, but they were discriminated towards. If our ancestors were able to get homes after they came back from fighting a war for a country who does not like them, Black people would be so much ahead. Another thing they talk about is the Mission Act. Now, the Mission Act is a part of the VA healthcare system where when the VA is overwhelmed, you can go ahead and select for community care. And community care is when you go out to the community for care, basically. You can go and get an outside physician because the VA does not have enough physicians. What I did not know was that came under Trump's administration. Ironically, I've used community care before. So it's just like one of those things like, but okay. So after all that, they get into how they are going to reform. And the first two things they mention is abortion and gender reassignment surgery. Now, when it comes to abortion services, they wouldn't get rid of that because they're saying it's not service connected. But I'm the first one to tell you, most of the people who really need abortions are women who are in the military. Rape is such a high, not talked about, happens all the time thing that happens in the military. And the stories I hear from women that happen to them by active duty military service members, but if they let abortion okay, then they will have to address the rape. And if they address the rape, then they have to address that the military is not safe. And they can't do that because then there will be imminent guilt. They also talk about the PAC Act. And what the PAC Act is a new thing that was signed by Biden to help those who were suffering because they got exposed to chemical exposures, toxins and stuff when they were deployed in different areas and all that stuff. Now, this is something that military personnel, veterans, retirees have been fighting for a long time because they would go and try to get a disability claim for something and they were told that they don't have that. Okay, so the other thing that they're trying to figure out, they did not plan for people to live this long. They did not think their veterans were going to live as long as they're living. They're saying that the VA healthcare dollars are really spent on the people who are 65 and over. And that's a huge problem because they did not plan for them to live as long as they're living. So they're cutting stuff because they had this new set of veterans, people like me who are coming in and using the VA health system, but they still have the old veterans there using it. They thought I was going to be able to replace them and they can keep the cycle going. But us being here at the same time is causing a lot of financial problems. So while they're trying to cut costs, they're trying to figure out ways that they can do them. One is that they want to increase the number of patients that VA doctors see. They're saying right now they see about 6 patients per day. They want to increase that to a provider seeing 19 patients per day. Can you imagine your doctor saw 18 people before you? She's not. They also want to recruit retired physicians to serve veterans. Now, if this doctor is retired, I don't want him operating on me. They also talk about how they want to contract a lot of things out to speed up some processes and do a lot more automation while they're also cleaning house. They get to the human resource part and they're saying on day one, they want political control of the VA. He's going to do a lot of stuff on his first day. At the end of all the chapters in Project 2025, it says the author alone assumes responsibility for the content of this chapter and no views expressed should be attributed to any other individual. Like at the end of the day, that's Brooks. Like, don't come over here with that noise. Brooks said that, even though it's in the book. So chapter 20 is not a huge concern as some of the other chapters. It's some fucked up shit in here. But if you're a veteran, let me know. Happy Veterans Day. This is a long video, but this is a lot of information. And yeah, bye from a black woman.
Remember when Donald Trump and the Republicans told us they didn't like Project 2025, they didn't support it, they didn't even know what it was? Yeah, well, just today, Donald Trump nominated Russell Vought, a Project 2025 co-author, to serve in his administration along with a number of other people who worked on Project 2025. So, surprise, surprise, Donald Trump lied to us again. He knew exactly what it was, and he wants these people working in our government. We tried to warn people about this stuff, and many didn't listen. And now we're stuck with this insane reality for the next 4 years.
Project 2025. What is it? What is it going to do? Will it be enacted? Is Donald Trump supporting it? If you have any of these questions, watch the video and you'll know. All right. What is Project 2025? It is a right-wing agenda created by a large conservative group, primarily the Heritage Foundation, and also led by other smaller conservative groups, numbering anywhere between 10 to 1,000 of them. There's really no specific number. But the Heritage Foundation made it, and a large number of groups support it. Who is running Project 2025? Their president is Kevin Roberts. Alicia Smith is their policy analyst, Mark Morgan is their immigration policy guy, and Russ Vought is their fiscal government reform guy. That's somewhat concerning, and you'll know why in just a second. And hundreds of other conservative leaders, some of them currently in office, some of them formerly in office. Who has Trump hired in relation to Project 2025? As of right now, in this term, Russ Vought, as an officer of budget management, or OBM. However, Russ Vought was the OBM during Trump's first term. Also, Project 2025 was founded in 2022. Just a little bit of a timeline there for you. Okay, currently, November 23rd, stating the date, so when shit changes, I don't get fucked over. No other people are directly affiliated with Project 2025 have been hired by Trump. However, people thought to be affiliated. What does that mean? No explanation ever in any of the dozens of websites I looked up to check. Great. Is not known. Estimate, if I had to guess how many people that are in office have been hired at some point by Trump or anything having to do with office in official regard, estimate, I would say about 50 to 150 people, which is a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Okay. Now here's where the real crap is going to hit the fan with everybody. It's going to be mayhem in the comments. Has Trump endorsed 2025? Has he endorsed it? These are two quotes that I've pulled from left-leaning websites. I disagree with some of the things they are saying, and some of the things they are saying are ridiculous and abysmal. That's from Forbes magazine or website. I don't know what they're called, if they can even be called news anymore. And then I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's from PBS. So he openly states he has nothing to do with it. But on the other hand, he also has a number of people that are directly affiliated and some indirectly and some that are claimed to be affiliated with it in office, being hired or were running for office during his first term. So it's not a great look. Even if this is not true, right? Even if he doesn't endorse it and he's not doing it, there are people in his office that do or have, and that's a problem in of itself. To that end, it's really hard to say that, this question right here, will Trump enact 2025? My best guess is no, and not because he doesn't want to, but because I don't see how he would be able to pass some of the things he would if he was endorsing Project 25. There's a lot of ifs, he's, possiblies, maybes, and I hate speculation, but we have to at this point because we're like this close before the crap hits the fan, and I want to know if the crap hits the fan when it's on and it gets everywhere, or it hits the fan when it's off and it just kind of makes a mess somewhere else that I don't give a shit about. So, do I think, personally, after doing research, think that Trump will enact Project 2025? I do not. However, I think there are many things in Project 2025 that will probably be enacted simply because they align with his goals as a conservative member of the Republican Party. Because even though this shit has some batshit insane crazy crap, quote from me, there are some things in there that are actually reasonable. So, let's dive into that. First, we're going to start with the sane policies in 2025, which, by the way, I got directly from the 2025 website. So this is not, I read some Fox News website about, oh, they're great, they're going to save America. Okay. I went directly to the source and found the information and wrote it down. All right. Now, this is not going to be 100% accurate because each one is 2 fucking words long. So obviously, when I say one thing, you're going to go, oh, well, it says, decentralized government, but they're going to do this, 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 and this. I'm saying this is a general point that they've made that they're going to try to do in Project 2025. How they're going to do it, in what way, in what fashion, I don't know. These are just the points that are in there. All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting angry. Decentralized government. I'm for that. Cut taxes across the board. I'm for that. Reform Social Security and Medicaid. Reform Social Security and Medicaid to ensure longevity. I'm with this because, to be frank, Social Security is something that we all pay into and is not going to be worth a damn when I'm ready to retire if it's going at the current rate it's going. I'm going to put money in it my entire life and then get dick in return. So, if they wanted to change shit in here, I would be for that. Reduce foreign spending. Yes. To me. Maybe other people feel differently. Protect Second Amendment rights. Yes. To me. Maybe people feel differently. Fiscal discipline for government. Yes. And if you disagree with that one, you're crazy. Unless there's some weird shit in there that's like, oh, well, we're only going to discipline this, this, and that. Okay? Improve veteran care. Yes. I'm for that. Prison rehabilitation. Meaning prison shouldn't be the place you throw somebody to rot and become an even worse person so that when they're let out, they inevitably do something as violent or more violent than the first time. They should go there, be treated like human beings. To an extent, they're not going to live on cloud nine, but I think that they should have reasonable expectations. And they should be rehabilitated to rejoin society and fix their mistakes. I'm for that. And then reduce tech censorship. I'm for that. I think just short of anything that is literally illegal, you should be able to say whatever the hell you want. If it's fake, if it's not, if it's real, if it's a lie, if it's trolling, you can say it. I think you should. Okay. Now let's get into the insane policies. And they are insane. 1. Criminalize all abortions. Yeah. Criminalize all contraceptives and birth control. What? What? Criminalize pornography. And the people who make it. Literally imprison people who make porn. I mean, dude. Criminalize discrimination policies. What? Criminalize anti-white policies. I don't even know what that means. And look, you can say that, you know, the race bias or, you know, needing percentages of certain people in colleges and stuff is against white people, but it's like, if you can't get into college, it's not because you're white, it's because you're stupid. Or you're broke and they don't want your broke ass handling a shitload of debt that you know you're never going to be able to pay back. Sorry. Don't want to be that guy, but harsh reaction to journalists and protests. I hate that. Journalists and protesters should be able to have all of the rights that they're afforded in the current Constitution because it ensures that people know what's going on. And that if you don't like what's going on, you can protest your constitutionally protected right. Drastically increase powers of the executive office. I wrote unclear here because I don't know how the fuck they would drastically increase powers of the executive office without having a continental Congress getting 2/3 vote to put an amendment in to make Trump emperor or something. And I don't see 2/3 of the vote of the states voting yes in making Trump emperor or king or whatever. Does it happen? I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I have to confidently say I don't think 2/3 of the country want Trump to reign supreme. All right. Whew. Sources: Forbes, NPR, Reuters, PBS, Project 2025, AP News, and USA Today. And to check all of the websites, I use this thing that I recommend everybody use called allsides.com, where it will take the website, you put in a question, and it will show you on the political compass which way it typically leans. So you have a good idea on what kind of bias the information you're being given has. So, this is Project 2025. Of course you're going to have questions. It's one fucking whiteboard. It's a 900-page goddamn document. If you'd like me to make more videos, I probably can. Will that make everybody go, oh yes, I completely agree with that, and we should all be friends now? No, that will never happen, because that's just reality. So here's a bunch of information that I think is largely unbiased. Maybe you see differently. I don't know. I don't care. There you go. Thanks for watching.
Like, seriously, Lovelace, the FA and FO season is just in another ball game. It's just something that each and every person there, you just have to look forward to a particular FA and FO season. Like, nobody is actually saying that he came out and maybe spilled it with his mouth, talking about how he is involved with the project 2025. I could actually remember vividly, I think I stitched the video where when this project 2025 was all over the social platform and people, were deciding to read the project 2025. Some people read, while some people were like, oh, he is not involved with that, so let's just, come off it. Let's just move forward. But I think that people are now drawing more attention to the said project 2025, in the sense that some of the appointees are some of the people that is involved in the said project. But this is a project that he, spoke about, talking about how he is not involved. He don't even know people that is involved with it. You don't even know how come or who even brought about the project. I stitched a video one time, that was about 3 months back, where a lot of people were actually saying that, okay, I think he is involved, he's not involved. It's a kind of an argument, agreeing and disagreement, which, he came out to clear the air. And clearing the air, he made everyone understand that, okay, he is not involved with the project 2025. He don't know the people involved. He don't actually, know what they are talking about. But now it appears that some of the people that is appointing in his, to run his office with him are some of them are actually people that is involved with this project. And that has actually spiked a lot of controversy. People are running helter skelter. People are beginning to read what really the Project 2025 is all about. And again, it's so sad that, you know, upon the Project 2025 being out there, being also, people never had that time to research and read more about the project. People, neglected it, because he already came out to clear the air. But it's as if people are going back and forth now because of the too many finding out and all that. And I will not blame these people. I will not. Because this is just getting so scary each and every passing day. This is getting so scary, lovelies. Okay, now in this said project, it's actually, I think it's targeting more of the people that looks like me, like, like women and all of that. But the thing is that most of these things written on Budget 2025 is definitely affecting every individual. You as a woman, even if you are in a relationship, a marriage or something, and you are actually suffocating there, you are made to stay there. You are made to gather evidence. What of that in a situation whereby you are with a narcissist that when they go out there, a lot of people think of them as, oh my god, good people. Like this person is a good person. But you as a partner, you know deep inside of you what you are actually going through. Like, seriously, what if let's just take for instance the abortion. Like nobody is actually supporting people to just go ahead and run all of these things, but there have been cases whereby there's what they call ectopic pregnancy that warrant you to save at least the mother. What about cases like that? There is a stage I put up on my other channel, that is Ballistic Gist, of this young lady who is already 6 months gone, but on the way, I think something really happened. And the only thing that she has to do was to just put it out. She went to this obstetrician and she was not given that opportunity, and she ended up not making it. These are the things that these people really need to look out on. And it's as if this project is targeted more on women. Like seriously, why didn't people? I know that okay, during that time he was like, I am not involved, I don't know this, I don't know that, but people should actually still, you know, go through it, try to read. Okay, right now people are beginning to learn what Project 2025 is all about. People are beginning to learn what is tariff. People are beginning to like, why now? You actually had all of the time in the whole world to do your research. During this time, when the Project 2025 was all over the place, you know, people that looks like me actually came out like, wow, what if he's involved? What if a lot of people, put it behind the under the carpet? Like, okay, it does not really matter. But the truth of the matter right now is the fact that he is appointing those people that are involved with the project. Okay, how can you be appointing people that has everything to do with this and you don't know anything about it? Like I said, nobody's pointing fingers. Nobody's saying that he's aware. Like he is not aware. But the thing is that, okay, there is no how when I know. Let me just take it for instance. I have a friend who is involved with something and just want to, appoint this friend. And I know vividly well. Like, there's no how that I wouldn't know that this, my friend, is actually, I have to know all of your business, your CV, and what you've done and what you've accomplished for you to, in order for me to, for both of us to work hand in hand, you know? So I saw a lot of situations, people were like, oh, he's still not involved. Yeah, he's not involved. He's not involved, but all of the things coming up now is proving otherwise. Even if he never said it with his mouth, he never said it. But let's just believe that. But the truth of the matter is that the season of FA and FO is just an eye opener to what has been happening for a very long time, or what has been the plan for a very long time. It's just that I don't know, I think people knew all of this. People knew all of the implications and all of that, but they just still choose to go ahead with it anyways. Like, I don't know, after you must have chosen to go ahead with it, and now you are seeing the fruits at which you planted being germinated. You are running, running hotel scatter. Like, seriously, just just with the little, you know, understanding that I've seen here, I think that this project is really going to affect, especially women. Like, especially, and this was what people have been trying to avoid. We know the people, the ones that actually voted 92%, they have been trying to avoid. It's as if they were the only ones that went on a research to know what this project is all about. They also went on research to know what this tariff is all about. They went on research to know about so many things, but they came out clean to tell the other ones, like, this is what it is. You all need to be very careful. This is the way it is. But no, people do not want to listen. People don't want to understand. People don't want to get what is going on. And seriously, I really, really wish that at the end of the day, things will come out, you know, things will actually come out fine. A lot of people are now complaining the fact that even the veteran is being cut off. Educational, like virtually everything. Am I even going to talk about the Walmart? Talking about how they are going to increase their prices, even if it has not been implemented already. Tariff have not even been implemented, like the high percentage of, the rate. Like, it's as if all of these rich people are just so ready. It's as if they are so ready. The thing is that all these things are just going to affect the middle class, the poor, and any other person. But you see these super rich people? You see the super rich? It's not going to affect them like that. It's not, especially that of tariff. You see all of the small business owners. Oh my God. Like, it's just so unfair. But we are still keeping our hope alive, hoping for the best, hoping that at the end of the day, all of the things, because if the masses have voted right, that means they know exactly what they are voting for. So let's just hope. So let's hope that at the end of the day, every other person will like, oh wow, like they were really right after all. They knew exactly what they wanted. So let's just hope things will turn out that way. Then so many people will come out and say, oh, after all, it's all good. Everything came out beautifully. Like, anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please, do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. We are just here to inform ourselves, to know what is going on, to know about some of the measures you have to take. Because this time around is a time at which you have to be very mindful of your environment. And if you're someone that you have plans to renovate or do something, I think it's high time you start doing it before everything skyrockets, the prices of things or goods and services skyrocket. So I think, during this festive period, even if you want to go for your normal Christmas shopping, you should be very, very concerned of what you pick, and so that you can have some reserve for next year. We don't know what is going to happen. Anyway, lovelies, thank you so much for all the love and support, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.